All right, everybody. Ready for a deep dive into becoming a business administration vocational teacher? We're talking acing that interview today.
Yeah.
And to make it real, we're using actual questions people have faced, plus some insider info from RoleCatcher's Career Guide. Should be helpful for you folks.
Yeah, no generic stuff here. We're going deep on strategy, what interviewers are really after.
Having that guy's like a cheat sheet, right?
Yeah.
Gives you the real deal on what the career's about, not just the textbook stuff.
Totally. And it reminds me, got to set the scene early on. You're not just a teacher in this role, right?
Oh, definitely not. More like a mentor, right? Taking business theory and making it make sense for like future accountants, marketers, all that.
Exactly. Interviewers want that connection, not just lecturing, but that spark where students get it, how it applies for real.
Love it. Okay, first question they threw our way. What motivated you to become a business administration vocational teacher? Beyond the obvious, I love teaching business. Any tips?
It's all about the why, that specific story that clicked for you. Maybe helping a classmate who just didn't get it, or your own light bulb moment, seeing how vital business skills are every day.
Make it personal, relatable. RoleCatcher even talks about how this passion evolves throughout your career, from that initial spark to mentoring other teachers, even shaping curriculum. Shows you're thinking long-term.
Right. And hey, did we mention RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your answers? For this question, it'd be checking for those keywords, any red flags, even suggesting how to make it stronger based on what's worked for others. Pretty cool, huh?
Super helpful. Okay, next up. How do you keep up with the latest trends and developments in business administration?
It's a fast-moving world out there.
It is, so you got to prove you're not just keeping up, but ahead. So instead of, I read articles, get specific. Industry journals, conferences, maybe you're part of, say, the National Business Education Association.
RoleCatcher digs those certifications too. CRCST, vocational education, those show commitment, growth, which interviewers love. Absolutely. And maybe a quick story about something you learned recently that shifted your thinking. New teaching tactic from a conference or a business model that blew your mind.
Okay, tech time. How do you use technology in the classroom? I'm guessing PowerPoint isn't going to cut it.
Nope. Time to shine as tech savvy. Imagine talking about, I don't know, simulating the stock market or using business software so students get hands-on experience.
Or online platforms for group work, even remotely.
Yeah.
Like building a mock business plan together.
Hands-on, practical, that's what RoleCatcher stresses.
And their AI feedback. It might suggest software the school already uses, tailoring your answer. How cool is that?
Talk about an edge. Okay, shifting to understanding those young minds, how do you evaluate student performance? Tests matter, but interviewers want more, right?
For sure. It's about recognizing everyone learns differently. One size doesn't fit all.
Right. So instead of just listing assessments, talk about maybe project-based learning, tackling real-world problems like a mini Shark Tank.
Love that. Or presenting to peers, building those presentation skills, and giving feedback.
Don't forget portfolios, showing growth, tracking progress over time. It all ties back to that individual focus RoleCatcher talks about. And speaking of individual focus, how about that question? How do you tailor your teaching to reach students with diverse learning needs? Because in business admin, it's not just one type of learner.
Totally. Visual, auditory, hands-on. How do you adapt?
That's the key. Instead of just textbook lectures, maybe you use visuals like charts and graphs to explain financial data for those visual learners.
Or case studies. Make those marketing strategies really hit home.
Exactly. And guest speakers, different parts of the business world. RoleCatcher's big on those real-world insights.
And tech plays a role too, right?
Right.
Online quizzes, those interactive things, letting students work at their pace in a way that clicks.
Huge. RoleCatcher's AI can actually suggest tools known to be effective for this, like a personalized toolkit for differentiation.
Nice. Okay, gotta ask about this. It's on every new teacher's mind. Disruptive behavior. How do you handle that in the classroom? Keeping it positive but productive, right?
Big one. They're testing how you maintain order, but also that supportive environment. It's a balancing act.
Totally. Not too strict, not a pushover either. Finding that middle ground.
Exactly. Start with clear expectations day one. Rules, procedures, reinforced consistently.
And when they push those boundaries, consequences.
Gotta address it. Maybe a tiered system, right? Verbal reminder, then something more serious if needed. But always focused on redirecting, not just punishment. Keeping that respect, that positive relationship.
Like RoleCatcher says, it's about those individual student bonds.
Absolutely. And get this, their AI can cross-reference your answer with the school's own code of conduct. like having someone double-check you're on the same page.
Wow, that's smart. Okay, teamwork time. How do you work with colleagues and administrators to support student success?
It's a team effort, right? 100%. Show that collaboration, communication. Don't just say, I work well with others. Give examples.
So, collaborating on a cross-curricular project, tying in business admin somehow.
Perfect. Or being open to feedback from mentors, senior teachers, shows you're always growing.
And administrators.
Yeah.
Keeping them in the loop, progress reports, curriculum decisions, just what's going on in the classroom.
All important. And remember, staying updated in your field ties in perfectly. Mention professional development, sharing your knowledge with colleagues.
Shows you're invested in the whole school, not just your own bubble.
Right. RoleCatcher's AI can even tailor this answer to the specific school. Maybe they've got an initiative that fits your collaborative style.
Last question, and a biggie. How do you evaluate the effectiveness of your teaching? Ultimately, it's about whether they're learning or not, right?
100%. This shows you're reflecting, not just going through the motions. Open to feedback from students, from yourself.
Lifelong learner, just like we
Yeah.
talked about earlier.
Exactly. So yeah, test scores matter, but there's more.
Right. Going beyond those numbers, what about student feedback surveys? Getting their perspective on the class.
Love it. Peer feedback, even classroom observations. Those can be so valuable for spotting areas to improve your style, your lessons.
And staying current on teaching research like RoleCatcher emphasizes.
Crucial. Mention reading journals, attending conferences, specifically for business admin. And don't shy away from saying you try new things, assess what works based on how students do and your own observations.
It's that constant evolution, right? Finding what clicks.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher's AI, get this, it can even suggest assessment methods that align with how the school evaluates teaching, like a personalized cheat sheet for their expectations.
That's wild. Okay, got to ask about staying power. It's demanding work, right? How do you stay motivated and engaged in your teaching? Because burnout's real. Interviewers want to know you're in it for the long haul.
Truth. Business admin, it's always changing. You need that enthusiasm. I love helping kids. It's a start, but not enough here.
They want the passion, the why behind the what.
Exactly. Is it those aha moments? Seeing students use what they learned, maybe land their dream job because of you.
Or the challenge of keeping up with the business world yourself, bringing that back to the classroom.
All of it. This is where you get personal. Tell that story, the one that made you want to teach business admin, maybe something from your own experience in the business world.
Those stories are gold. It's what makes you as an educator.
Exactly. Let that shine through. And even here, RoleCatcher's AI can give you a nudge, making sure your answer fits the school's culture, their values.
Like having a personal brand manager.
Right.
Man, we covered so much today. Those tough interview questions, the insights from RoleCatcher's guide.
A crash course in acing that interview.
For sure. And remember, this was just a taste. Their AI platform, it gives you personalized feedback, suggestions, even helps you tailor your answers to each job. Seriously, check it out.
Such a good resource. But before we go, gotta leave you with something to think about, right? We talked about making business education real world. So how would you design a lesson around a real business challenge?
Love that. So many possibilities.
Right. That creativity, that passion for making business come alive, that's what makes you stand out.
To everyone prepping for that interview, you got this. Show them your strength, your story, let that passion shine through.
And check out RoleCatcher. Give yourself that extra edge. Good luck out there.